Hello everyone and welcome to part 8 of the Nascar 98 season. This is another one of them fantasy courses. This is Cedar Woods. And I will go ahead and qualify for this one just to see if I can make it through the Cyclone 300. It's been so long since I've played this track that I don't remember how to drive it or anything. I don't even remember what it looks like other than the little map there. Ooh, it kind of looks like they reused some Watkins Glen assets for this one. So let's see if it's a little bit of a better experience than what that Watkins Glen race was, because that was a bit of a mess. And I really cut it close where I almost hit that pit road. You know what? This is actually driving kind of smoothly. I like this so far. I think this is going pretty good so far. Yeah, this is good stuff. Just as long as it's not a complete chaotic disaster, and I wonder... Ooh, wait. Hey. Yeah. Somehow I kept it out of the wall. This is looking good so far. If I can just bring it home, maybe the qualifying lap won't be too terribly mediocre. But I guess that's just... we'll just have to wait and see. I like how sometimes the tracks will have those little cameras... or there's little mini screens in the background. But yeah, let's see what that lap did. Coming around this final corner, and I kind of sent it there just to see if that would give me a little bit of an advantage. And I don't see me anywhere. It probably wasn't that good of a lap then. But I felt pretty good about that lap, so you know what? Hey, it's not last. Okay, cool. You know what? Yeah, I do feel good about that lap now. Because that could have been easily last place, and I thought for sure that's what it would be. So this is good stuff, yeah. Let's get the Cyclone 300 a-rolling. Bring on the Cyclone. Alright, yeah. I should be able to make a few passes. I feel like the qualifying laps are not always a good indication of what you'll be able to do on the track, because you got to factor in the competition and being able to just kind of zoom through one at a time here. Let's see, I've already improved quite a bit from my starting position. And considering I feel pretty good about getting through this track, I think I might actually be able to make some noise here for once on a road course. Just as long as I don't wreck. Got a little bit of a battle that I just maneuvered through there. And then some of these other cars are just kind of bonking into each other, but I'm pretty close to cracking the top 10. And it's just a couple of quick laps to get through here. But yeah, so far so good. And when the final lap makes its way through, I can just kind of try to send that last corner into the line. It's in a very bizarre spot, but hey, this is actually turning into a fairly competent road course race for me in this game. This is looking really good. I'm personally impressed with how this is turning out so far, but I don't think I really remember racing this track maybe once or twice. I've definitely done it once since I recorded played through a couple of seasons in Nascar 98 back in the day. But I just don't remember this one too well. But you know what? This one's pretty good. This one's alright by me. It gets the Fromark seal of approval. Now with one to go, sponsored by the bank, let's see if I can... The bank. Gotta go to the bank. The bank. But anyways, with one lap to go, I'm in the top 5. This is good stuff. And I am gonna see if maybe I can get a top 5 finish on a road course for once. It'll probably be the only time it happens in the game, but you know what? It's still something. and maybe that'll move me back up to 6th in the points. I'm not going to completely roll out a top 5 points finish, but it would be cool if it did happen. It would be a lot cooler if it did. Aw, yeah, I'm back in the top 5. Can I hang on to it? I'm probably going to send it in that last little section there. Yeah, alright, that's good stuff. It looks like I went down pit road too there for a second. Alright though, yeah, top 5 on a road course. Let's see what the next track is now. I don't quite remember. But there's only like a handful of races left on the circuit. No, I'm still 11 points back from 6th. But ooh, Talladega, that's a good one. Yeah, let's roll on to the Talladega Super Speedway, folks. In Talladega, Alabama. And this track I have been to. I think I've mentioned that a few times before, but yeah, it's a pretty neat track to go to. I definitely want to go back one of these days. The place it's a pretty big racetrack, honestly. In person, I mean, yeah, it's like 2.5 miles, but you know, you don't really realize that until you're actually there. It's crazy, honestly. But I'll see what kind of lap I can put up. One of these games, I feel like, if I remember right, you kind of end up having to brake a little bit. Wait a minute, no, I know what it is. I'm pretty sure it's in the Saturn version. It doesn't handle Talladega as good as the PS1 version. I mean, it does alright, but you end up having to slow down a little bit in the corners. And that just doesn't work too good for Talladega. It's kind of weird thinking Talladega is a braking zone. At least in a game, considering Talladega is a very fast track where the cars are always flying through at like 190 miles per hour plus. And for a game to kind of botch that, it's just, it's kind of weird. But yeah, let's see if that lap was anything to feel good about. It may have been, it may have not been. And, okay, 11th. You know what? That works for me. It works for me. Let's go ahead and bring this Talladega on. Talladega. Bring your family back to Talladega again. Anyways, moving on here. Let's just get this race rolling. But yeah, Talladega and Daytona are my two favorite kind of racetracks. Atlanta, it tries to be like a mini Daytona Talladega, and it works sometimes, but I don't know, it doesn't get any better than these kind of tracks. And I'm actually making some surprise moves here. I didn't really think that was going to happen. It's a little bit harder to play this track in the Saturn version, I will admit for sure. A little bit of a 3-wide battle, that's nothing new at Talladega. Segadega. Yeah, it just doesn't play as good on the Saturn, unfortunately. But other than that, I still like the Sega Saturn version of NASCAR 98 just a little bit more. Sometimes it's pretty good, sometimes it's a little mid, but it's kind of crazy to think it's the only NASCAR game Sega ever got. I'm surprised that Papyrus, or whatever the company was that did the first one, that NASCAR Racing, I'm surprised that didn't make it to the Saturn. That one came out in 96 for the PS1. Maybe I should record that someday. It's not very good, though. But I remember I actually had that game when I was a kid. I remember taking it to school with me, too, to see if it would play on any of the school computers, because I didn't know how those game discs worked back then. But I found out pretty quickly, and if I remember right, I just left the disc at school, said screw it, and it wasn't until a handful of years ago that I played it again. But yeah, it's not a very good game, and you only get to choose between two fake drivers, and it's kind of lame that they have all the graphics and stuff programmed for other cars, but they won't let you race as them. Racism. That sounds dangerously close to racism. I am no racist, though, folks. I am not. This is a very accepting channel of all people. Even though I do have pretty mediocre people skills sometimes. But it looks like Jeff Gordon's going to run away with this Talladega. I don't think I'm going to be able to do anything for the Cedar this time. But I could be wrong. I'm making up a little bit of ground, surprisingly, so... I've still got plenty of time here. Still got plenty of time to make something happen. But yeah, the Fromark channel is a loving and supporting channel of all people. All people are good with me. Except for people who don't use their turn signals. They suck. And that guy doesn't take care of his house. He kind of sucks too. At least he's done mowing. And I'm pretty much halfway through this Talladega. Maybe I can still pass the 24. That'd be awesome. I would like to get Dale Earnhardt another Talladega win, since this was pretty much his stomping ground back in the day when Dale was still alive. And he even got his last win at Talladega. It's probably one of his best known wins of all time, because how he went from 18th to 1st in a matter of a couple laps, and it was pretty cool how he did that. You'll probably never see anything quite like it again. But it looks like I've got the 24 within my sights. I mean, this thing's not over yet. But like I said, it's a little bit easier to drive this in this version of the game. But I mean, considering they're, for the most part, the same game, they're pretty well one-to-one, I don't see any reason for me to check out the Saturn version on this channel. I would like to play some Saturn games eventually, but that'll require me saving back some money first so I can get that fancy HD converter box that I'm wanting. The Saturn certainly does have a lot of neat and fun games, and it's one of my favorite consoles. I only hold it second to the Super Nintendo. It's too bad the draft doesn't work very well, though, or really doesn't work at all in this game. Because, I mean, if it did, I probably would be able to get back around the 24, but everything's still pretty close together here. I think maybe I could do something. But if not, you know what? Second's fine. It's fine enough. Once again, showing how inconsistent these seasons are, or these races are this season, with the bad results on the road courses and whatnot. But hey, you know what? I had that good result on that last road course, and I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. That was some good stuff. But I'd say this Talladega 500 will probably be this will probably be the last race I do for this part, and I'll finish out the season in the finale is what I'm thinking. Sounds pretty good if I do say so myself. Just gotta make it around 3 more times. And like I said, I'm pretty content with this runner-up. Could be a dub, but you know what? If I can get out of here with a runner-up, I'll be happy. Yeah, I've got a pretty good gap between third, so that's cool. That's cool stuff. I definitely want to go back to Talladega, though, man. It's awesome there. That's definitely put on some of the greatest races of all time in my eyes. Eventually, I'd like to go to Daytona, too, for the 500. That'll be a little bit tricky, though, to plan with my work schedule. Because I don't know if they would let me carry my vacation time over into the following year. They're kind of weird about stuff like that. I don't know, I'd have to look into it. I wish I could look into passing the first place car, but it's just not gonna happen. I don't see it happening. I mean, yeah, there's 2 laps to go here, but I just don't see that happening, folks. Might play around with some of these camera angles for a second. Oh, I wonder if I can do the select trick in this one. Select trick. Boogie woogie woogie. Nope. In NASCAR 99, if you're in the driver view like I was there for a second, and you hold the select button for a good few seconds, it'll let the driver wave at you, which is pretty cool. It's probably about the only neat thing you can really do in NASCAR 99, as far as I know, at least with cheat codes. If I had paintball mode activated, I could probably get around the 24. What are you gonna do? Just another classic Earnhardt versus Gordon battle of the 1990s, Talladega, and some NASCAR 98. Zoomies here. Sega, Dega, Sega. Dega, Sega. But yeah, on the credit 1 to go, see here. What's going on here? See here, here, here. Yeah. Gonna go ahead here with the final corners. It's kind of neat that there's a line there. I don't know why there's a line there. That's kind of strange. Maybe that was there back in the day. Or maybe that's just a programming error. But that's definitely not the start-finish line. But yep, coming around the final stretch here with the finish line being on the further end of the straightaway makes it a lot more interesting, and a lot of crazy moments have happened at this track as a result. But nothing too crazy here today, folks. Just a nice, solid second place run. I mean, considering I started, what, like 11th? I'll take it. Still quite a good day. Maybe I can make it back up to 6th in points this time. That'd be cool. Hey, I did. Yeah, I did it. Let's see if I can hold on to that place in the final part, folks. I'm going to go ahead and save the season, and I'll see you in the finale.